Oh my god, you guys, have you ever felt off like someone's pulling strings you can't see? It's creepy and unsettling. Welcome to our channel, Study Cave. Today, we're diving into the dark world of psychology to uncover the tricks used by manipulators. Stay tuned to learn how to protect yourself from these tactics. It's not just about someone being a jerk. This is deeper. This is about calculated moves, psychological warfare designed to mess with your head. Sometimes it's so subtle you don't even realize it's happening until you're completely tangled up in their web. Understanding this stuff can be a total game changer. It's like getting a secret decoder ring for human behavior. We're gonna break it all down. We're talking about the actual techniques, the nitty-gritty. It's not to scare you, well, maybe a little, because some of this is genuinely terrifying. But mostly it's so you can spot these red flags from a mile away. Knowledge is power, right? And when you're dealing with manipulators, you need all the power you can get. So grab your snacks, get comfy, maybe turn on a nightlight, because we're about to get into it. 18.
Okay, so first up, and this one is like so insidious, you guys, it's gaslighting. It's not just lying. Oh no, it's so much more twisted than that. Imagine someone doing something and then denying it, saying, "That never happened, you're imagining things," or "You're being too sensitive," or even worse, "You're crazy." They rewrite your reality, making you doubt your sanity. This is a deliberate tactic. The manipulator wants you to stop trusting yourself. If you can't trust your own judgment, who are you going to trust? Them, of course. They become the anchor in your confusion, the one who tells you what's real and what's not. And it starts small little things like denying they said something minor or misplacing your keys and then blaming your bad memory. But it escalates. They'll deny promises they made, conversations they had, events that clearly occurred. They might even try to turn other people against you by telling them you're unstable or forgetful. It's a slow erosion of your confidence, your self-worth. Think about how isolating that is.
Alright, next up is something that on the surface can feel amazing. Like, literally the best thing ever. But oh my god, it's a trap. A big, shiny, glittery trap. We're talking about love bombing. It's a full-on charm offensive designed to sweep you off your feet. Think constant compliments, extravagant gifts, declarations of undying love. You feel seen, cherished, and utterly adored. But here's the creepy part. It's all a tactic. It's not genuine, not really.
Oh, okay, this next one. Guilt tripping. We've all experienced this, probably from like our parents or something, but when a manipulator uses it, it's on a whole other level. It's a constant heavy blanket of "you owe me" or "look what you've done." Manipulators are masters at making you feel responsible for their emotions, their happiness, their problems. If they're upset, it's your fault. If they're unhappy, you're not doing enough. They will twist situations to make you feel like you're constantly letting them down, even when you're doing your absolute best. It's exhausting, you guys. They use your own conscience, your empathy against you. They know you're a good person, that you don't want to hurt anyone, so they exploit that. They might say things like, "I do so much for you, and this is how you repay me." Or, "If you really cared about me, you would..."
Okay, so this next one is like super passive-aggressive, but also incredibly powerful and honestly really cruel. It's the silent treatment. And I'm not talking about someone needing a little space to cool down after an argument. No, this is different. This is a deliberate, calculated withdrawal of communication, affection, and presence, used as a form of punishment. It's designed to make you feel invisible, unimportant, and desperate for their attention. It's a power play, pure and simple, and it can be incredibly damaging to your self-esteem. Imagine this. You have a disagreement, or you do something the manipulator doesn't like, maybe something as simple as having a different opinion, and suddenly, they just shut down. They stop talking to you. They ignore your texts, your calls. If you're in the same room, they act like you don't even exist. They might give you the cold shoulder, refuse to make eye contact, or answer your questions with monosyllables, if at all. It's like hitting a brick wall, and the silence is deafening, isn't it?
Oh, you guys, this one. This one is a classic, playing the victim. Manipulators are like Oscar-worthy actors when it comes to this. They can twist any situation, any criticism, any accountability, and somehow make themselves out to be the injured party, the one who's being persecuted, misunderstood, or unfairly treated. It's a way to deflect blame, gain sympathy, and you guessed it, control others. They want you to feel sorry for them, to rush to their defense, and to forget about whatever issue was actually at hand, especially if it involved their bad behavior. So, how does it work? Well, they might exaggerate their hardships, constantly talk about how unfair life is to them, or how everyone is always out to get them. If you try to hold them accountable for something, they'll turn it around. How can you say that to me after everything I've been through? Or, you're just trying to hurt me like everyone else.
Okay, so this one is tricky. We're talking about charm and charisma. Some people are just naturally charming, right? But in the hands of a manipulator, charm is a tool, a very, very effective tool. They can be incredibly likable, funny, engaging. They know how to make you feel special. It's like they have this magnetic personality, but it's often a carefully constructed persona. If someone is super charming, you're more likely to trust them. You're more likely to give them the benefit of the doubt. You're less likely to suspect them of having ulterior motives. Manipulators use this to their advantage. They use their charm to build rapport quickly. It's the sheep's clothing over the wolf. They can be incredibly persuasive, using their charisma to get you to agree to things you might not otherwise agree to.
All right, this next one is like really dark and unfortunately really common. We're talking about the use of fear and intimidation. Now, this doesn't always mean like outright physical threats, though it definitely can. It can be much more subtle, but just as effective in controlling someone's behavior. Manipulators can use a whole range of tactics to make you feel scared, anxious, and constantly on edge, like you're walking on eggshells around them. The goal is to make you too afraid to challenge them, to disagree with them, or to leave them. This can manifest in a lot of ways. It could be through angry outbursts, yelling, or a generally aggressive demeanor that keeps you constantly worried about setting them off. They might make veiled threats, not direct ones, but hints about what happens if you don't comply.
Divide and conquer the triangulation tactic. Okay, this one is so sneaky, you guys, and it can cause so much drama and confusion. It's called triangulation. Basically, the manipulator brings a third person into the dynamic between two people. They do this to create conflict, to play people against each other, and ultimately to control the situation and the individuals involved. It's like they're the puppet master, pulling the strings of multiple people to get what they want. It's a classic divide and conquer strategy, and it's incredibly effective at destabilizing relationships. So how does it look in practice? Well, a manipulator might tell you one thing about a third person, and then tell that third person something completely different, often negative, about you. For example, they might tell you, "Oh, Sarah said she thinks you're being really difficult lately," and then they'll go to Sarah and say, "You know, your name was complaining about you the other day." This creates distrust and animosity between you and Sarah, with the manipulator sitting pretty in the middle, often positioning themselves as the confidant or mediator to both parties.
It's not me, it's you, the projection deception. Okay, this next one is like peak psychological gymnastics. It's called projection. And it's basically when a manipulator takes their own undesirable traits, their own bad behaviors, their own negative emotions, and instead of owning them, they accuse or someone else of having them. It's like they're holding up a mirror to themselves, but telling you that the reflection is yours. It's incredibly confusing and frustrating to deal with because you're essentially being blamed for things the manipulator is guilty of themselves. So, for example, a manipulator who is constantly lying might accuse you of being dishonest. Someone who is incredibly jealous and controlling might accuse you of being possessive or trying to control them. A person who is cheating might become hyper-suspicious and accuse their partner of infidelity. They are literally projecting their own internal world, their own faults and insecurities onto you.
The push and pull hooked on intermittent reinforcement. Alright, you guys, this last one is so powerful, and it explains why it can be so hard to leave a manipulative relationship even when you know it's bad for you. It's called intermittent reinforcement, and it sounds like super scientific, but it's basically the psychological equivalent of a slot machine. You get rewarded sometimes, but not all the time, and you never know when the next reward is coming. This unpredictability is what keeps you hooked, constantly hoping for that next win, that next moment of affection or kindness. Think about it. If someone was mean to you the time, it would be much easier to leave, right? But manipulators are often smart enough not to do that. Instead, they mix in periods of kindness, affection, or even that intense love bombing we talked about earlier, with periods of cruelty, neglect, or all the other tactics we've discussed. So you get these amazing highs where they're wonderful and loving, and then these awful lows where they're distant, critical, or abusive. This up and down cycle is incredibly addictive.
Shining a light moving forward. Wow, okay, that was a lot. We went through some really dark stuff today, you guys, and I know it can be heavy to think about. But honestly, just knowing these tricks, these manipulative tactics, is like having a shield. It's about recognizing the patterns, trusting your gut, and understanding you deserve respect. Knowledge is your best defense against psychological warfare. The world of dark psychology is, well, dark. But by shining a light on these behaviors, we take away some of their power. We learn to see the red flags and protect our well-being. Remember, you're not alone and it's never your fault. The responsibility lies with the manipulator. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe for more content. Stay safe and stay informed. Look out for yourselves and each other. If this hit close to home, reach out to someone you trust or a professional. Bye, guys.